Greetings everyone and welcome to Coffee Black, where the Voyager adventures continue on YouTube. I'm your host, Captain G, and this is the channel where you get your refill of everything Star Trek Voyager related, from trivia, news, reviews, and more. So before I talk about today's topic, I'd like to encourage new viewers to subscribe to the channel, also check us out on X, formerly known as Twitter, and visit our Facebook page for more Voyager content. This video will be my breakdown for Star Trek Prodigy Season 2, Episode 11, Last Flight of the Protostar, Part 1. Computer Access File, Episode 11, Alpha, and Enhanced View Screen. The episode begins with a repetitive loop, showing Chakotay foraging and surviving while stranded. He picks fruit, harvests fish eggs, cleans solar panels, and whittles a piece of wood into a chess piece figurine. The final piece that he ends up making is a replica of his first officer. On the day the cadets arrive, Chakotay hears a noise and discovers the cadets caught in a giant net trap. Chakotay recognizes them from his time imprisoned, revealing he's been on this planet for 10 years. Holo Janeway appears, not knowing the cadets, but the cadets are still excited to see her. Chakotay releases them, and the cadets try to explain how time has been altered and how they need to repair the timeline. Chakotay thinks a moment, but very bluntly says no. They ask why, and Chakotay reveals they stranded themselves on purpose to prevent the Protostar from destroying the Federation. Dal tried to explain that in the past they saved the Federation by destroying the Protostar, but Chakotay remains stubborn and leaves the cadets behind and goes into the Protostar. He warns them of the upcoming ion storms and leaves them outside to fend for themselves. Chakotay tells them welcome to Yesida, and to enjoy their stay as the doors shut behind him. Holo Janeway disagrees with Chakotay's treatment of the cadets, and Chakotay says he endured 10 years here. They can make it for one night. The cadets take the supplies left outside and make a shelter for themselves. Suddenly, the ion storm picks up, and Janeway convinces Chakotay to allow the cadets to enter after she implies that he would have let them in, alluding to Chakotay's first officer, Edric. Jangham asks about the lighting, and Chakotay says they try to conserve power as much as possible. Chakotay also reveals they ejected the protocore and the warp energy source as well, leaving the ship unable to fly. The cadets realize that in having attempted to find Chakotay, they've stranded themselves as well. Chakotay makes light of it and says the needs of the many outweigh the comfort of a few, a spin-off on the classic Vulcan proverb. Chakotay takes a hat and places it on his head, intent on going to sleep. Dal is angered by Chakotay's apparent broken spirit and calls him out on it. Jangham intervenes, trying to calm both of them down, and shows the carving of Edric. Chakotay snatches it away and puts it back on the table with the others. Chakotay then tells the hologram Janeway that she's the one that wanted the cadets, so she can deal with them, and leaves the bridge. Holo Janeway asks the cadets to forgive his attitude and explains he's a captain who has lost his entire crew. Janeway sits and creates a hollow cup of coffee, the same type of coffee mug that Janeway had on Star Trek Voyager. Holo Janeway then proceeds to tell the cadets what happened to Edric. Edric believed that there was another solution to their problem and also believed there was a way off this planet. He believed they could harness the energy from the storms, but Chakotay wouldn't listen. Edric set out to test his theory and never returned. Gwyn says if they want to get off this planet, they need to do more than just fix the ship. They need to fix the captain. The next scenes are a montage of the cadets trying to boost Chakotay's spirit by helping him. Zero finds the Protostar's plaque and hangs it up. This is a great Easter egg because Star Trek ships from every Star Trek series have their own dedication plaques. And as is the tradition, the series creators all have their names on the plaque. If you pause the episode, you can clearly read them all. Rock tries to help Chakotay pick fruit, Murph tries to help fish for eggs, Jangham tries to fix the dune buggy, and Gwyn and Majel set up the solar energy collectors. Elsewhere, Dal forges for plasma fruit and sees a crystal structure that shocks him. He looks up and a large creature comes up from behind. Back at the ship, ion storms begin, and everyone realizes Dal is missing. They can't hail him, but they can track his comm badge, so Chakotay, Gwyn, and Jangham take the buggy to go find Dal. The storms increase, and that's when the cadets witness the giant sand beasts that dive out of the ground to consume lightning bolts. The buggy heads toward a hole, and Chakotay drives in and activates the buggy's hover capability, continuing onwards through the long tunnels created by the creatures. After dodging creatures left and right, they reach a spot too narrow to drive through. They enter the location, revealing an antenna built by Edric to harness lightning. Gwen finds Dao, and he's noticeably upset, having discovered Edric's body. Chakotay walks up to his long-lost commander and takes his comm badge. He then touches the container in Edric's possession and realizes he succeeded in harnessing the lightning as a power source, making them one step closer to being able to leave the planet. They return to the Protostar, and Chakotay gives the comm badge to Hollow Janeway and says that Edric's sacrifice and the cadets' help guided him to see there's always another way. The episode ends at Edric's funeral. His body is placed in a boat and set off the island into the sea. And there you have it. That's my breakdown for the entire episode and what few Easter eggs there were available. This wasn't entirely a positive episode. There were a lot of great deep themes, and I really enjoyed the depth and motivation Chakotay's character had, and the cadets' mission to help rebuild his morale and spirit. Overall, I'm going to go ahead and rate this episode 8 coffees out of 10. And that's it, everyone. Thank you for watching. Please hit the like button to help support the channel, and I will see you in the next breakdown episode. Everyone take care, and live long and prosper.